Okay, so this is a 12-bar blues lesson in the key of E, and it's important to know the blues really is not meant to be strummed as much. That's more of a white people thing, I would say. So blues is really about rhythm and just simple riffs. It's not really meant to be a chorded pattern as much as country is or bluegrass. It's very much sort of a groove. So I'm going to start with the pattern of the 12-bar blues and just play it through once for you, and then I'll explain what each thing is and how it works. So here we go. We're going to start with E for 4 bars. So we're going to go to A. Bars. Then I go to B, which is a bit of a stretch. A. We're going to do a turnaround. Then we go back to the E again and start it all over again. Then we go to A, which is B, so and to use in a song like Pride and Joy by Stevie Ray Vaughan is basically just that same rhythm but with slightly different changes. It's a little different style, but it's the same type of thing. So the only chords we're using here is E, A, and a B. These are just the power chord version, so I'm only strumming 2 strings at a time. You can mute it a little bit with your palm, but that's just me. Every time I hit it, I tend to lift the finger off so I'm going off. You can just keep it on there. But you can, once you get fancy, you'll want to hit it and bring your index finger off again. So that's just the B note. Kind of keeps it more controlled, but the same with the A. You can leave it on or take it out. So, and all I'm doing is basically walking up with my index to my ring, to my pinky, back to my ring, while strumming the other string open. So that's, for this one, it's the E string. I'm doing. I'm doing the A string for the next. And then I come back to the E for 2 bars, but the pattern, I'm just trying to give you the style, not necessarily the format or anything. And when I do the B, I don't really do the same pattern because it's really hard to reach, but you can do it. You can go, but you can hear my strings starting to rattle. So I just tend to do first finger on the B, second finger on my F sharp, and then I got a big stretch. You can use your 3rd finger instead of the 2nd finger, it doesn't really matter. But you've got to sort of hold on to that. Then you hammer on the pinky. Notice I'm not doing the walk that way because it's too hard to keep the B note down. So I just do da, 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 da. That's just one. This finger is on the 2nd fret, this is on the 4th fret, it's on the 6th fret. These 2 are on the same string, this is on the A string above. These 2 are on the D string as I do this. So you just do, there's a little figure, basically it's called a turnaround. So at the end of you're doing 4 bars where you go 1, 2, and then you do your next 2 bars of this little figure. Then I'm doing a little bass run which goes G, A, B flat, B on the E string, hitting the bass, the low note here to go. And I'm doing a chord as well, but you don't have to do the chord, you can just do that note, those notes. And then you're waiting for that E to come back in, so. And that's basically what it is. I'm going to show you how to do the turnaround. So that turnaround just means you're turning everything back to the beginning, basically. There's various ones, some of them go like. Some of them go. There's all kinds of different turnarounds, but the one I'm doing, just you're putting 2 fingers on the 5th fret. One is on the 5th fret of the G string, one is on the 5th fret of the high E string, and I'm leaving the B string completely open. So this is normally finger picked, like, but this particular one is just meant to be easy. I'm not trying to do anything fancy, it's just. So I'm going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And I'm actually taking the bottom finger off and just hitting the G sharp, like an E chord, but just with these 3 strings. So I'm going to do that again. It goes down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And then I'm doing a little bass run. And you have to do that in time of, to obviously want to get, it just builds the suspense and it takes you back to the E, and then you're starting all over again. But if you just do the chords, it's at the end you kind of need that turnaround to break the monotony because you've been playing that same thing over and over again. So that's really all it is. There's 3 chords and there's just a type of pattern. So I'm going to play it one more time for you really slowly so you can follow around. I'll follow along, sorry. This is in E, it's the 12-bar blues, and the first 4 bars are in E, second 2 bars are A, then we go back to the E for 2 bars, then we start the turnaround, which is B for a bar, A for a bar, and then that little figure, and then we're going back to B before we finish it, start back with E again. And so here is the pattern all over again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then A, that's 1 bar, 2 bars, back to E. Go to B, then I turn around, and then I'm going back all through it again. So try. You can also start the song off with the turnaround instead of just starting from E all the time, which is kind of boring. You kind of build the suspense and you do a little. And then you start into boom, boom, boom. Going to B, back to A. My turnaround is alright, that's 12-bar blues in E.